Danish philosopher Søren Kierkegaard says that life can only be understood by looking backwards, but must be lived forwards. Having 20/20 vision means being able to see clearly, and sometimes our clarity of vision comes through looking back and reflecting. 2020 has been a year of powerful transformation, and we've all been called to consider the choices that we've made in our lives. Structures, ideas, businesses, and relationships that weren't fully aligned were exposed and either needed to be re-evaluated and repaired, or they've crumbled and collapsed. What can you do to harvest the gifts from this year and to integrate the lessons so that you can grow and develop deeper connections in 2021? I want to share a simple 4-step process that you can use to reflect on this year using my format called Postgame for a year. This 4-step process can take as long as you like, but I suggest giving yourself a couple of hours to go through this. The more time and attention that you give to this postgame, the more gold that you'll be able to harvest. You can do this alone, with a partner, or even as a family. All that you need is the 4 steps that I'm going to outline and a notepad and a pen. Step 1. What are you most grateful for in 2020? Write down at least 3 things that have come from this year that you're grateful for. Maybe it's more time at home with family, or perhaps lockdown forced you to reevaluate what's really important in your life. Maybe you spent time on a hobby that you've not had time to focus on until this year. Step 2. Write down what you're most proud of for having achieved this year. Here you can list as many suggestions as you like, but I suggest making a list of 50. 50? I can't think of 50. Most of us don't give ourselves enough credit for just how amazing we are. By going through this process and finding 50 things that you're proud of, you'll start to see just how much you've done and how much you can be proud of in 2020. Step 3. Write down 10 lessons that you've learned this year. Maybe you realize that the amount of time you're putting in at work needs to change. Perhaps you've identified some relationships that are holding you back and that you need to let go of. One of the main reasons that you're doing this postgame is to learn through reflection, and step 3 is all about identifying these lessons. Step 4. If you had to relive this year again, list some of the things that you would do differently. This final step is the most powerful as it allows us to learn from where we haven't always acted in full alignment with our truth. Maybe on reflection you realize that consuming the news takes you off your center, or you could identify where you didn't treat yourself or those around you with as much patience and compassion as you would have liked to. I believe that we're all manifesting exactly what we need in each moment, and that the world that we see around us is a reflection of our inner belief system. For most of us and our planet, we all breathed a sigh of relief in April this year when we were forced to take a break that none of us knew how to take. Smog cleared over our cities, water in canals ran clear, and nature showed us just how quickly she can heal herself. We're part of nature, and as we start to remember that we're all connected, we see that we're also able to heal ourselves. Our world isn't going to improve when other people sort their shit out. It's going to thrive when each of us take responsibility for and do our own inner work. Going through a postgame like this is an act of self-responsibility. You're looking back at how much you've achieved and identified the places where you can improve. The darkest days of your past are the days from which you grew the most. And the same will be true for us and our planet when we look back on this powerful year of change. Here's to looking forward and living more perfect days in 2021.